to showcase when it came to professional wrestling. So yeah, I do a lot of stand-up comedy all over the country. I have a show in Lafayette this Friday night at JP's, and I perform quite often in Austin, Texas, at many different venues. But it is a thing that's important to me, performing comedy, whether it's stand-up, improv, or sketch comedy. That is what I mainly do throughout the week. And on the weekends, I lace up my professional wrestling manager shoes. All during the week, I am exercising my comedy skills. But to me, it really all feeds the same. It all feeds the same premise, though.
So how can people find out where you're going to be performing at? What are some of the links that we can go to? I know you have a Chris Trew on Twitter. It's at Chris Trew, CHRISTREW. Where else can we find you other than Facebook?
That's going to be the best one, Chris Trew, at Chris Trew on Twitter. Also, you can go to christrew.com. That's the home base for all the things going on. That show, I actually just fired not only my assistant, but my intern just about an hour ago, because I found out that my show calendar on christrew.com is not updated with some of my upcoming engagements. So they are fired. They will not ever be heard from again. I'm gonna make sure that they don't never work another job here in the Gulf South. But you can go to christrew.com to catch up with the various projects that I'm doing, not only with professional wrestling, but my sports podcast, or my live comedy, or the Air Sex Championships.
Now, the Air Sex Championships, I actually caught, and I had no idea that you were going to be on America's Got Talent. I had no idea.
I got screwed.
And I tell you, I mean, everybody buzzed you. Even the big man himself buzzed you.
Don't remind me.
And I was sitting on my couch, and don't ask me why I was watching America's Got Talent. I think there was a girl in the room. I'm not sure. But all of a sudden, you come on stage, and I'm like, I freaking know that guy. And when you did the air sex stuff, I cannot believe they buzzed you, dude. That is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That was one of the biggest mistakes they've ever made in their life. You know, the ratings for America's Got Talent has sharply declined.
I know. They should have kept you going. That is the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. That's how. Whose idea was the air? Was it your idea, or was it a combination?
So I've been doing the Air Sex Championships since 2007. Started in Austin, Texas, at the Alamo Draft House with my good friend, fellow businessman, Mr. Tim League, the man behind the Alamo Draft House. He and I, over the course of time, developed the Air Sex Championships. We used to do it exclusively at the Alamo Draft House, just a few times a year in Austin, but it has grown into its own entity. And the Air Sex Championships, now I tour the country doing that show every summer. And actually, I can't reveal what it is yet, but we just got booked for an amazing event in 2015. And there's a movie about the Air Sex Championships, which if any listeners out there have already gone to christrew.com, you see the trailer on the front page on my personal website. That the trailer for Air Sex the movie, which will be coming out next year.
And will that be available? So you're going to obviously have screenings in Austin for that, correct?
We will have screenings in Austin.
Okay.
We will have screenings in New Orleans. We will have screenings at any city that appears in slightly bigger font on your Google Maps.
Well, I got just from the little bit I've seen and what I've caught on YouTube, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And if anybody can, just in my poor way of describing it, imagine air guitar or air drums, but it's air sex.
Yeah, you just take sex, you eliminate one of the people, and then you add music and imagination. As long as you are making love to something that we cannot see, you're doing it right. And we judge you based off of accuracy, how interesting is it. And, at its core, it is a comedy show and a sport. So we do want to see your commitment to the character. We want to see you really fight for the victory. And we take the sport very seriously, Mike. You may not know this. People may not realize this. But we travel the whole country doing this show. We crown champions in all the major cities. And then at the end of the year, we fly the best of the best down to compete for the national championship belt, which sex toy company Fleshlight has provided for us this year. So this December 13th at the Mohawk in Austin, Texas, you will see the biggest air sex show of all time.
Hold on.
When the champions from Los Angeles, Seattle, New York City, Toronto, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, New Orleans, they all descend upon Austin, Texas.
You said December 13th?
That is Saturday, December 13th.
That is going in my calendar right now. You don't need an MC for that, do you?
Come on, Mike Allen. That's my gig.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't need somebody in the audience paying a ticket, do you?
I would love some of those.
I'm there. It's going in my phone right now. I can't miss this.
And I'll tell you what. Next time we're holding, a preliminary round match, Mike Allen, you should sign up to compete yourself.
Well, my lovemaking style has been compared to a rabbit on a balloon. You know what I mean?
Ooh, let's get you a real life balloon in a rabbit costume, and let's play this out.
I think my style has been described as epileptic seizure.
Okay, let's get you some strobe lights and some blindfolds.
There you go. There you go. Of course, my imaginary partner will have as many orgasms as my real partner does. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Which at the end of the day, who cares, right?
Well, your partner probably does.
Right. Well, good, and all that. So you do comedy full time. You don't have like a day job, and this is something that you do as a hobby. This is it.
This is what I do. I am a lucky man, but I'm also, I've also been working very hard for a long time. This is
very busy. Yeah. Well, it all pays off in the end. Yeah. Well, that's very cool. Now, some of the venues in Austin, of course, Cap City Comedy Club. Have you played that, or are you going to play that here soon? Or
I have done Cap City before, not super often. That's much more of a it's more of a sporadic venue for me. When I'm in Austin, I am either managing my wrestlers at a professional wrestling show, or I'm at my spot. I'm at the New Movement, 7th and Lavaca in downtown Austin.
That's what I was trying to get. 7th and Lavaca. Now, is that a storefront? Can people find that on? Do you have a Facebook page for that? Do you have a page for that so people can find out the schedule so they can go down and go to that?
We sure do. The best way is go to our brand new, beautiful website, which is tnmcomedy.com or newmovementtheater.com. You can also just type in the New Movement Comedy into your Google machine and see where it takes you. I bet it takes you to the front page of the best comedy website in Austin, Texas.
The best. Movement. The best. Now, 7th and Lavaca, I'm kind of trying to imagine that corner. I don't know if you're aware, in a previous life, I was a Austin police officer. And I had the downtown beat for a while. One of my favorite hangouts was the Velveeta Room,
yes,
where I would go in and sit in the back and listen to Matt Bearden and all the guys that doing stand-up. But 7th and Lavaca, what building did you take over to turn into the theater there?
So we are the basement. We are the basement of the Freemason building.
Ah, got it. Okay. All right, now I can picture it. Very cool. And that's a weekly event then?
Well, that's an almost every night of the week. We have shows 6 days a week.
Really?
The New Movement.
So what time does it start?
Well, it depends on what day of the week we're talking. We have at least 2 shows a night, Wednesday through Monday, stand-up, improv, sketch. We have shows. We constantly have shows. There's too much talent that calls the New Movement home to not have all those shows providing that avenue for them.
Now, your book is an improv comedy book, and also the new movement. Somewhere I read, I think you might have sent it to me in a message too. This is some place for people who may have the passion for stand-up, the passion for improv, and they just need a place to go to get started and get some direction. Is that kind of what this is about?
That's absolutely correct. You know, when I first started doing comedy, I was looking for a community of people to see shows with, to get trained alongside, to perform with, and I couldn't find it. And it wasn't until I went to Chicago and saw how they organize their comedy venues and how the theaters over there just really cultivate a sense of community. And I really wanted that in my neighborhood. So I soaked up all the information that I possibly could, came back down to the South, and then did my version of that. Not just me, alongside Tammy Nelson, my favorite person in the world to do comedy with. We are the world's greatest tag team. We opened the new movement up, and we have a location in Austin and New Orleans. And basically, when people come and take our classes, we teach you our brand of improv comedy, our brand of sketch comedy, and we give you opportunities to be on stage. So it's not unlike when people choose to become a professional wrestler and they go and seek the training, and then eventually that wrestling promotion will give them an opportunity to prove themselves in the ring. And if they're successful, they'll get more opportunities. Then you cut to a few years down the line, and this person that was trained here is now holding the title belt. We're basically the comedy equivalent of that.
So if somebody has the inclination or think they might have this in them, then they should go down and check you guys out and get in contact with you and become a part of your community and get guidance and mentorship. Because really, just like professional wrestling, some of the most successful professional wrestlers have always had a mentor. They've had people that they've gathered around them that have known more than they have, that they can feed off of and soak up that information so that they can put their own twist on it and then become a performer themselves. So that's kind of what you're putting together here then.
That is 100% what we're putting together down here at the New Movement. There is, there's a lot of amazing people who call the New Movement home that do stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, improv comedy. The New Movement also books many tours, putting together, nationwide tours for our performers to go spread their wings out on the road and go spread the good word from the New Movement. And it's going really well. We're very excited and stoked about our progress, and there are no signs of slowing down.
Well, very good. Anybody that we should be looking out for in the comedy realm right now from local Austin that's kind of stood out to you we should kind of keep an eye out for?
Question. I'm going to have to cap myself here so I don't spend the next 3 hours just reeling off names. But if I can give you the four horsemen of my next great Austin comedians list, that's easy. First of all, I'm going to say you have to go see Vanessa Gonzalez. Vanessa Gonzalez is one of the most amazing, most captivating performers I've ever seen in my entire life. She does everything: improv, sketch, and stand-up. She's most notable for doing solo sketch comedy. Sketch comedy is usually done with big ensembles, big groups. She does it all by herself, just one person. Very amazing. She actually has a show coming up at the Spider House Ballroom in Austin, Texas. I believe it is December 14th, the Monday after the Air Sex Championships. Maybe that's the 15th. But Vanessa Gonzalez is amazing. I also highly recommend Bad Example, which is a sketch comedy group that performs every single Saturday night at 9 p.m. at the New Movement. Now, Bad Example is amazing because they are doing a brand new show every single week, just like Saturday Night Live does. There's no other group in the country that does that. They write a brand new show every single week. That is